Today in class, we started to create our own PowerPoint on a hobby or an activity that you enjoy of your choice. Um, I don't like to always use the word hobby because sometimes students will hear the word hobby and say, well, I don't collect anything. I don't collect stamps, or I don't collect coins. Hobbies are such a huge variety. It can be that you love video gaming. It can be that you are a really big sports fan and you watch sports, you read about sports, you collect sports things. It can be that you love to read. It can be that you love to garden. Maybe you're a Girl Scout. Maybe you're a Boy Scout. There are a variety of topics that you can choose for the hobby presentation, but the presentation must be school appropriate. So keep in mind when you're creating your presentation, all the things that make pictures and text school appropriate, and we want to stick to that. If you're unsure at any time if a picture or text is school appropriate, you should ask your teacher. So we're going to start today with actually creating a new blank presentation, which I have done. I have opened a new blank presentation. And in PowerPoint, that simply is clicking File, New, and then clicking Blank Presentation, and it will open a blank presentation for you. We are going to apply a simple theme or a design to our presentation. So if we come up to our menus and we click on the Design menu, we are going to see a variety of themes that we can choose for our presentation. We can scroll through those until we find one that we enjoy or that we like or we find appropriate for our presentation. And I am going to use the design. This design is called Retrospect. And that is the design. And then there are variants. And if you move your mouse over the variants, you will see that you can change the color schemes of that presentation. There are so many different color schemes that you can go through and choose until you find one. The other option for a background or for a theme for your PowerPoint would be to format the background and change either a solid fill color for your background or maybe a gradient fill, and you'll notice it's kind of gradient lighter down to darker. You can put in a picture or a texture, and there are varieties of textures. You can put in a pattern as your background. But keep in mind that all of these things that you do create more visual appeal to your PowerPoint, but also can be distracting at times. So you want to try to remember color schemes. You want to keep in mind complementary colors, and you don't want to have such a fussy background that it's hard to read your text. So this is the design that I have chosen, and I'm now going to add a title to my slide. I'm going to do my presentation on cooking. So I'm adding a title, and then I'm going to add my first and last name as a subtitle. And I'm going to save this as hobby underscore your name. I'm going to put my actual name in my computer literacy folder. So I'm going to call this hobby underscore, and then I'm going to save this as my name. And you will see up here, hobby underscore Jennifer Dumas. That is the title of my PowerPoint, and my work is saved. The next thing that you are going to be asked to do is to create 3 additional slides in your PowerPoint. And so when we are going to add slides, we use the home menu and we use the new slide button. So if I click on new slide, I'm going to have options. At this point, you can choose any of the options for the slide layout. I'm going to add title and content. knowing that I can always change my layout later if I need to. So I'm going to add a new slide until I have 4 slides in total. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So your presentation now has 4 slides. And I'm going to save again so that my work is saved. I don't want to lose my work because I have not saved. Okay. All right, we're going to go back to slide 1 if you're not there, and we're going to add a picture. This is really the same and very similar to Microsoft Word. We click on Insert Pictures. You can insert pictures that you might have saved on your computer. There are stock images, or you can insert online pictures. And the online pictures allows you to search Bing and I'm going to type in the word chef. So I'm going to use a picture of a chef. And because I love the Muppets, I'm going to use the chef from the Muppets. And I'm going to insert a picture of him on my slide. And I am going to really go ahead and think, all right, this is a really small picture. I'm going to increase the size of the chef. I'm going to move this Creative Commons little tag to another location of my slide. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my chef a little bigger. And so my title slide now has a title, it has my first and last name, and it has a picture of the chef. On my second slide, I am going to add facts about my hobby. And so I'm going to title this slide Facts About Cooking. Facts about cooking. And I'm going to find 2 facts about cooking. And I'm going to find those facts on the internet. So let's go to trusty old Google. And we're going to find facts about cooking. Okay. And so you're going to scroll through Google and you're going to find interesting facts about cooking that you might want to use in your presentation. And you'll see the history of cooking. Here's an image that has a little bit of history of cooking that you might find facts from there. These are interesting, 50 delicious, interesting facts. One is cooking is the art, science, and discipline of preparing and presenting food. So I might use this as one of my facts. I might go through and find facts that work well with my presentation. So I'm going to use this as one of my facts. And because I am using as one of my facts, I'm going to grab the URL or the website, and I'm going to put that in my presentation so that I know where I got the facts from. So I'm just going to put that right down here so I know where I got that information from. So let's go back and take a peek again at what that fact was. Cooking is the art, science, and discipline of preparing and presenting food. So I'm going to use this as a fact in my presentation. I'm going to put quotation marks around it too because I took it from that website. And then the second one, I'm going to also pull from the internet and say humans started cooking 1.8 to 2.3 million years ago. So these are my 2 facts that I got from this website here. Okay. Now, we want to make sure that we're using bullets to make our list stand out. And so I'm going to select my text and I'm going to come up here under my home menu where the bullets are. And I'm going to drop this down. And currently you'll see my slide does not have a bullet selected, but I can pick a different one. The dots, the circles, the filled in squares, the open squares, the diamonds, the arrows. Also, if you want to get fancy, you can come from inserting the bullets down to bullets and numbering. You can change the color of your bullets. You can also put in a picture from online instead of one of the shapes. So I'm going to actually use broccoli as my bullet. I'm going to choose the broccoli. And you will see now that my little bullets are pieces of broccoli. And if I zoom in, you'll see my bullets are broccoli. You don't have to use pictures. You can simply use good old-fashioned squares or the dots. But I'm going to go ahead and use that broccoli. I think it makes my presentation fun. Oop. So I'm going to put in the broccoli, and there they are. Okay, and now I'm going to put another picture about my presentation on this slide. So I'm going to insert pictures, online pictures, and I am going to put in a picture of lasagna. Yum. To go along with my food theme. I'm going to resize my picture. And now I have a title slide that has my title, my subtitle is my name, and a picture that relates to my slides. I have 2 facts about cooking and the website in which I got that information. I also have a picture on that slide that talks about or shows my hobby in the form of food. So I'm talking about cooking and I'm using a picture of lasagna. And I'm going to save this file. Make sure that it's saved as hobby_your_name. And that is what we covered the first day we started creating our hobby PowerPoint.